what's up guys, Naughty and Sans here for another very exciting episode of Learn How to Edit Stuff. Gonna do something a bit different today. Not necessarily gonna be a tutorial, but advice for those of you that wanna get into the film industry and be an editor, like for a living, like getting paid to edit. Several times a day, almost every day, I get messages from you guys asking for advice on how to be an editor. So I figured I would just make a video and give it all to you at the same time. So what I've done is basically break down my top 5 things across 2 categories to teach you guys. The first category is gonna be the actual skill set that you need to be an editor professionally, and the second category is going to be what you need to continue to do to get better at editing. And these are the things that I have learned that I value most. All right, let's jump in and start with the skill sets that you guys will need to do this professionally, starting with my number 1 most important rule, and that is technical versus creative knowledge. Video editing as a job, as a profession, requires a certain amount of technical skill in order to do your job. You need to know the ins and outs of the programs that you're using, whether it's Premiere or After Effects or Final Cut or Sony Vegas or any of those programs that you guys mention on a daily basis. You need to have a profound understanding of that software in order to do the job right and fast. The technical side of things includes things like sequence settings, export settings, frames per second, all the tools inside the program, codecs, all that stuff that goes along with being part of the software. You need to know inside out and backwards. Because if you don't know the technical side, it's never going to translate over to the creative side, because the problem with the technical versus creative thing is that you have an idea in your head creatively that you want to get out, but a lot of people are roadblocked by the technical knowledge that they don't have currently, and you need to really accentuate this to be able to get to the creative side much faster. My second point is going to be storytelling and an eye for detail. You guys have to like telling stories, but not about yourself, about other random things that have nothing to do with you, but you have to like it anyway. And you have to pay so much attention to those stories and the little minute details inside of them. It has to be exciting for you. If you're not excited about storytelling or paying attention to the story, editing is probably not the best career choice for you. So you have to really love storytelling, having an eye for detail, and I would also include creative problem solving in that second point as well. The third thing you should take a look at is audio and color correction. You sit down, you watch a video, I understand that it's visual, but half of a great video is having great audio. If you guys don't know how to mix audio on a very basic level, I suggest you learn how to do that, because there's certain things that need to happen in a piece in order for it to feel right at the end. The dialogue can't be too loud, the music can't be too low, the music can't be too loud, the dialogue can't be too low, there's sound effects involved, there's sound design involved, there's a lot that goes into the audio portion of it that I think a lot of people overlook because they think that video editing is only editing video, and that's not the case at all. You're also editing and mixing audio. And then the other side of it is having the video look great and knowing color correction, and that I promise you is a skill set that will never get overlooked. Having a knowledge of basic color correction and being able to compensate for a white balance being off or something like that is a huge skill set. I have videos on this already on my channel. Go check them out if you haven't seen them yet. That is something that I think that every video editor should at least know how to do at a very basic level. Number 4 is going to be collaboration skills. You have to be able to work with other people on projects. It can't just be you solo all the time, but specifically in a creative field, it gets really difficult to work with other people sometimes because there's so many competing ideas and too many cooks in the kitchen type mentalities going around that if you don't know how to work with other people, it's going to be really difficult for you to get ahead. And kind of piggybacking off of that, at number 5 is the ability to take feedback. Be able to receive feedback without getting emotionally invested in the feedback that you're getting. Sometimes you'll work for weeks on something and you're really proud of it and you think that it's great, and then you show it to a client or you show it to somebody and they're gonna trash it. You can't get emotional in that moment. It's really difficult not to, but you have to be able to separate the logistics from the emotions and actually hear the feedback that they're giving you, because buried in there usually is some good ideas. People that are creatives inherently are very emotional people, and that's why I think it's important enough to put in my top 5 the ability to control your emotions, because that can sever relationships and burn bridges way faster than you think. All right, just to recap the top 5 skill sets that I think you need to be an editor professionally. Number 1, technical versus creative knowledge. Very important. Number 2 is going to be storytelling and an eye for detail and creative problem solving. Number 3 is going to be knowledge of audio and color correction, because it's got to mesh together. You know what I'm saying. Number 4 is going to be collaboration skills and the ability to work with other people. And number 5 is going to be the ability to take feedback and not get emotional about the feedback that you're receiving. All right, we've covered the 5 things that you'll fundamentally need to be an editor, and now let's cover the 5 things that you'll fundamentally need to work on constantly in order to get better. Number 1, most important rule is set goals or deadlines for yourself. This is ridiculously important. Even if you're working on a project that doesn't even matter, you shot something in your living room and you're just editing it for fun, set a deadline for yourself. It is super important that you hit the goals that you set out to achieve for yourself. Otherwise, you're never gonna feel like you're making progress. In the real world, clients will set deadlines for you, and they'll be like, I need this video by this amount of time, and you have to agree to that. And the only way to get comfortable with having deadlines like that is setting them for yourself. I can't stress the importance of this one enough. You have to be able to hold yourself accountable for your actions, otherwise it's just gonna go off the rails real quick. Number 2, watch other people's work. Some of the best work out there is the work that you don't even notice. It's so good that it's flawless, and you should be looking out for that. Even when you're watching TV and a commercial comes on, there's a lot of great commercial editing out there, movie trailer editing, stuff on YouTube, feature films. Watch a lot of stuff and develop a palette for what you like, what you think works, what you think can translate over into the stuff that you're doing, whatever it is. Find something that you really identify with, grab onto it, and study other people that are doing it right. Which rolls us into number 3, which is learn as much as you can and experiment with unconventional methods. If you see something out there that you like and you don't know how to achieve it, try and achieve it in any way you can, and there's 2 main things that you can do. Number 1 is learn. Go on YouTube, try to find somebody that's done it, ask a question to somebody that's a little bit farther ahead than you to see if they can help. And number 2 is experiment with unconventional methods. Maybe you do some stuff on an adjustment layer and it ends up being really cool, and then you now know how to do that thing for later. But you have to experiment with it, or you have to try to learn how to do it from somebody else. Number 4 is going to be using shortcuts. The computer is your friend. There are advanced algorithms that you can plug into your keyboard to do multiple tasks at once, and you should be utilizing that on a day-to-day basis. Every single time you open up whatever program you're using, you should be using shortcuts to achieve your goal in a faster amount of time, therefore getting the technical side and the creative side paired up as one so you can get the creativity out faster. If you find yourself doing something very repetitively where you're like right-clicking on something, then having to navigate through a menu to find something, make a shortcut for it. You have to get faster technically to get better creatively. And number 5, don't be afraid to fail. I know it sounds cliche, but that is really important. A lot of times, and I see this on a daily basis, that people will be afraid to put their video work out there because they don't think that people will like it, or they're just afraid in general of putting themselves out there and being vulnerable emotionally to the work that they've created. You cannot be afraid to fail, and that takes jumping over the ledge in order to get there. I know it's tough, I know it's scary, but you just have to do it. Those of you that have been with me from the beginning know that my earlier videos were way too far out there. I was being too goofy, I was being too crazy, I was doing more jokes and more like YouTube vlog than I was actually teaching people how to edit, which was the whole point of the channel. And I've since dialed it back because I wasn't afraid to put myself out there, receive feedback from you guys. YouTube, much nicer than Reddit, I've come to find out, but I wasn't afraid to put myself out there and receive the feedback to tailor make the channel that's better for myself and that's also better for you guys, so I am providing good information to you, but not being too far out there to where people are going to be turned off by the weird jokes that I do or whatever the case may be. All right, let's recap those 5 things that you're going to need to continue working on in order to get farther along in your career, starting with number 1, set goals and deadlines for yourself. Number 2, watch other people's work. Number 3, learn as much as you possibly can and experiment with unconventional methods. Number 4, use shortcuts. And number 5, do not be afraid to fail. It is very important. You have to put yourself out there. You just have to. I know it wasn't a tutorial, but I hope it was at least interesting and entertaining for you guys. My name is Nadian Sands. This is Learn How to Edit Stuff. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel and also check out the last video that you missed. Do one of those things. I hope that you liked my advice segment. Maybe I'll do more of these if it's well received. Have you subscribed yet? Have you checked out the last video? If you have, you're not even watching this anymore. So I'll see you later.